Hey, welcome back. This is Dino. It's as always fabulous to have you here with me. Today I'm going to be talking about the idea of information design. Look how dense those binary digits are at the top, at the bottom, and a little bit in the middle. I'm going to start off with a little brain teaser. Uh, where, what location is the least dense and simplest information? Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Here, I'll give you some hints. It is in a public setting, although this actual where these signs could actually be in a private setting, but they're most likely in your mind they're usually in a public setting. Second is it helps a diverse group of customers, very diverse. Any guesses? Any guesses? Another hint: it helps international people, not just any people, international people. And then finally, it helps international visitors. Any guesses? Any guesses? Any guesses? Here it is. Airport. They have the least dense and the simplest information, and shown in a sign. As you can see here, there's 3 signs for an airport. Information density, when you think about it, it's an important decision when you're designing your information. To make that decision in an informed manner, you need to know your audience. That's very, very essential. And in terms of this, like maybe one way to conceive of it, to get a broader thought on the idea of information density, is either really, really dense information and really, really not dense information. For example, phone book with numbers and names smushed together, that is very dense information. And the opposite of that is a not dense place like an airport sign or an airport. Here's a great graphic. There's basically a y-axis and an x-axis. The y-axis is information density. The top is high, the bottom is low. The x-axis is audience. The left is broad audience, and to the right is specific audience. Let me zoom in a little bit here. As we just spoke about, an example of a phone book that has both high information density, so it's towards the top, and has a broad audience, it's on the left, so it's in the upper left corner. In contrast, in the upper right is a research portal which has both high information density but a very specific audience. For example, if you're doing research in physics, or if you're doing research in biology or economics or politics, it's a very, very specific audience. Although with their research portals, they deal with different types of researchers. And as you can see, there's some other examples like a subway map, biblical illustration, video game, museum exhibit, all at the top part. Going down to the bottom part, there's more towards the low density part. And again, the example that was brought up before, example of something with a very low information density and a very broad audience is for airport wayfinding. Wayfinding is basically finding your way around a place. In contrast, something like a specialty software icon on the bottom right has a very specific audience, whoever's using that specialty piece of software, and it also has low information density. So it's an icon, so it's not like it's particularly dense like a text. Again, you may be sort of a bit doubtful because you're not so well versed in this idea, but why is information density so important? And what are some factors that are important within it? Density is dependent on 2 things. First, the subject matter you're visualizing, and then number 2, the audience you're creating it for. So what you're going to want to try to do is to ensure your information that you're designing and communicating is appropriately dense given your subject and audience. For example, if your subject is really super complex, like astrophysics, is probably to be really, really dense. However, like maybe like a celebrity magazine, where you're dealing with just like entertainment news. It's a sort of a not a particularly sophisticated normally field. So as a result, that subject matter is just a little bit less specialized, a little bit less hard, and more people can understand it. So in the first example of the astrophysicist, it's going to be very dense information, and the opposite for say entertainment news. And then for your audience, again, it sort of goes along the same polarities. For astrophysics, it's a very specific audience. It's going to be very dense, most likely. And then entertainment news, as a contrast, it's going to be very, very simple, less dense. So there you have it, friends. That was information density. Thanks for watching this video. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.